the 2022 correspondence database is a great addition to Chessbase 17. This correspondence database, because of the rate that the games are played, they publish a new database about every other year. Some of the advantages of buying the correspondence database is that it's not easy to run across really good correspondence games like it is normal human chess games. Like, for example, you watch, say, Vacanze or the United States Chess Championship, where the games are pretty much immediately available for anybody to download at any given time. Now, another thing about this correspondence database is that you will find some games that are just simply unbelievable. I mean, sometimes so precise, sometimes even though they're not precise, just the idea and the beauty that you see, especially if you don't put it on the microscope of a computer, is just simply mind blowing. Now, but the biggest thing that this correspondence database has is that it is a treasure trove of opening theory. Even if you have one of the best books in your opening books installed on your computer, I guarantee you it's some openings in this database that will not be in that book. All right. So let's go ahead and open this up, and we're going to take a look at a few things here. So if you open up Chessbase here, you're greeted with the home page here. And so again, we'll go to the game database and annotate the games in a minute and talk about that. But as far as the tournaments, I mean, this is just straightforward. You just go here and you go to the different tournaments. You can click table or games, and they will open up games or the tournament table, depending on what that is. And if you go to videos, there have been 20 selected games that have been showcased by some of the best Chessbase authors. I mean, these are some fantastic videos. I haven't watched them all, but the ones I have watched, I mean, they picked some stellar games that again, you would just get your popcorn and sit back and enjoy is all I can say. The in-game videos by Kirsten Muller. He's, the Chessbase, I guess what I consider as a Chessbase resident in-game expert. He's written multiple in-game books, and well, I mean, I'm sure he's picked some really good topics here to talk about, such as in-game strategy, queen and rook versus two rooks, the dominating knight, pawn majority, and so on and so forth. So to go to the games, I would suggest just go up here to where it says games up here at the top and just go here. And as you can see, these games, you can let's make this a little smaller here. Some of these games have a lot of medals. So let's sort by medals really quick. I just want to show you that some games come with a ton of medals, and as you can see here, and you can also sort by theoretical weight, as you see here. And what that means is that in terms of the theory of the opening, if for black or white. And I also set beauty. You can sort that by beauty if you choose, if you update to the new CBH2 data format. And let me go back to the number really quick. I just want to show you something really quick. It is let me see how many games in this database. It is 2 million, over 2 million games, 2,058,858 games. All right, so now let's go back here. So let's just take a quick look at a game. So, but the first thing I want to show you is just how you, just one bonus thing is how to get some history out of this database, because I love historical facts. So if you go ahead to this game right here, where it's, I think it's Von Maluvillon versus the Unknown Officer. If you read this right here, it tells you about how this correspondence game probably played between these two officers, and how where they were stationed at, and where how these game moves are likely transmitted by the military dispatch, maybe some military exercises, that sort of thing, and they exchange moves. And there you have that. So I thought that's pretty cool to know that. So we go ahead to the City of London versus the City of Edinburgh. This is very good historical context right here to kick this game off. So I'm going to go ahead and read this one here. This is the second of a 5-game match played between the chess clubs of London and Edinburgh by correspondence. It is perhaps the earliest such match which a full record of games has been passed down to us. Edinburgh won the match by a score of 2 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss. This particular game has its place in history because London attempted to retract the move which had already been posted. This was not allowed by Edinburgh, establishing the precedent that rules today. The game began April 28th, 1824, and ended February 23rd, 1825. And so, and we see right here in the little metadata for the game, this match lasted for about 3.5 to 4 years, from 1828 to 1828. Thought it was a pretty good historical fact there. So let's talk about Beauty really quick. It's a game from 1969, and I particularly love looking at older games that are well beyond the advent of computers, because I like the beauty of them. Again, I don't like to put them under the microscope of a computer. I like to just look and see how humans played chess, and particularly in a correspondence fashion, and the theoretical things they came up with before computers came about. So here in 1969, this game here, let me pull this in the screen here. This game here was played by Salvatore versus De Sortis. And this was the Italian, I guess, correspondence championship. So, all right, let's go ahead and kick this off with our e4, c5, knight f3, knight d6, d4, c takes, knight f6, knight f3, a6, bishop g5, e6, f4, queen b6. Okay, so this here, if you're unfamiliar, is what you would call the poison pawn variation. And this is probably one of the games why you do not see this opening that often at top levels. Maybe in a blitz game, maybe in a rapid game, because it's such what I want to say, so much going on, so much theoretical. If you don't really know this opening, and if you play somebody that really know it, I am sure you're gonna lose. So because you're about to buckle up and see why right now. All right, queen to d2. Go ahead and he goes in for the poison pawn and takes. Rook to b1. This is all standard up until now. We're starting to get to a little more. I think this is about standard here. We're starting to get to a little more weirder stuff here. This is normal here. This pawn push is normal, d5. Now, rook to d1. Now, if you look at this rook to d1 and the bishop on g5, they are eyeing the d8 square. So if black doesn't watch himself, he can get in trouble. And we will see that happen. But again, let's just see how this plays out. You would think that if you look at rook to d1, it's given an X clam here, but in reality, this is not the best move. Really, and black is not going to do the follow-up move. So this is the only move I'm going to do some analysis on here and show you why. Because here, if we go bishop to e7, this here would have been a completely equal. Bishop e2, this would have been a completely equal game. But by going here, basically this allows this move here, which is h6. And you might think, wow, but if you look at it, the bishop only has one square to go. And once you go through this, come here, and now the bishop comes here, and c3 and back up. At some point in this line, I've already reviewed it, this bishop here is going to be lost. And although black is not going to be up a piece, he's going to be up these center pawns in the middle of the board. His king is going to be castled, and that is pretty much going to be game over for this position. So again, terribly theoretical. But again, that's the only point I'm going to do some analysis here, because this beautiful game is just so awesome. Let's check it out. All right, so rook to d1. All right. Bishop b4. Now c3 blocks that, because again, if you don't, you lose the queen. Now knight takes. And now, believe it or not, queen to d8, he really freed white by allowing him to get this queen to d8 in. Otherwise, but look, now don't forget, white king is still on the fire and cannot castle, because all black has to do is move his knight, and then he has a check with the bishop, and his attack continues. King to f7, queen to c7, king to g6. Now bishop to d3. This was a crazy move when I saw this right here, but if you think about it, it makes so much sense in the world, because he's giving up the knight. Because when knight goes knight f4 check, the king just steps forward. And if queen was to take a2 and go check, I mean, it wouldn't do anything but make the situation even worse. So queen b2 check, rook blocks. This is not an analysis. I just want to show you what happened. If bishop takes this, then here, this right here would just be game over like this again. And you have to go queen to e7 check because, again, for example, that stops black from running here because this here would be checkmate. So if you make the mistake here and went here would check, black can now go here because you can't go to h4 with mate. All right. So queen to d4, bishop to e3, hitting the queen. Queen backs up. Now watch, just another stunning. Hold on, queen to f1. I mean, rook to f1 first. Rook f8. Rook to f3. Obviously, if rook takes, well, something's going to retake and going to put double attack on the knight, which is pinned to the king, the black king. Rook takes, but you would think that you would take with the pawn, but white takes with the king. Simply amazing. So you know what? I have to put the computer on there. I just want to see what the computer thinks about king to f3. Wow, fast move. This game was played in 1969. Correspondence, pretty amazing. All right, king takes. King to f6. Bishop takes e4 with the double hit on the black queen. Queen to b5. Sacrifice the bishop. And now the game is just simply going to be over in a couple of moves with a checkmate, just like that. So just because I talked a little bit, let's just go quickly. Let's just scroll quickly through the game one last time and just check the beauty of it out. I mean, this is simply an amazing game. Poison pawn variation. This is probably one of the reasons why you don't see poison pawn at the top level. I'm sure there's other games that contribute to that fact, but this is one of the ones that why you don't see that, because it's, again, not saying that black should have necessarily lost this game, but this game is rich with tactical possibilities that is just mind blowing. So with that said, do yourself a favor. I would pick this database up if you're interested in this kind of thing. It would definitely give you a whole new avenue of chess material, and I think you'd enjoy it.